a dimly lit apartment, rain streaks the window as Mara, a disheveled woman in her late 20s, sits surrounded by unpacked cardboard boxes. The flickering blue light from an old CRT television casts eerie shadows across the room. With a cheap bottle of wine in hand, Mara struggles against a backdrop of hissing static. She cycles through channels, finding nothing but more static, and whispers in frustration, urging the screen to show something. Then, for a fleeting moment, a face appears, a pale visage with exaggerated features, eyes wide and mouth stretched in a silent scream. Shocked, she leans closer, only to be met with the relentless static once more. Laughing nervously, she turns off the TV, plunging herself into darkness. Later, lying in bed, Mara scrolls through her phone. Flickering images of a man named James bring a moment of warmth, but she quickly puts the phone down, closing her eyes. A sudden click startles her awake. Standing at her bedroom door, she sees the TV back on, the static roaring ominously. Cautiously, she approaches, only to find the same unsettling face on the screen, now smiling sinisterly. Startled, she unplugs the TV, silencing the eerie noise and reflecting on her own pale visage. Yet, something shifts in the room behind her. A tall figure with a head at an unnatural angle stands in the shadows of the kitchen doorway. Panic sets in as she spins around, but only darkness greets her. Turning on the lights reveals an empty apartment. Trying to rein in her fear, Mara tells herself she's simply tired. In her bedroom, she opens her laptop and searches for answers about hallucinations caused by sleep deprivation. A discussion thread titled "The Snow Entity" captures her attention. One post warns, "Don't let it finish loading." She reads about a face that appears in static and follows you in reflections, concluding that whatever it is, it was already present before it made itself visible. With a heavy heart, she shuts her laptop and gazes at the dark TV, now unplugged. Suddenly, a creak emanates from the closet, which she had thought was closed. Heart racing, she inches back against the door frame, whispering a terrified, "No." The door nudges open, revealing a choking darkness. Panic floods her as she tries to turn on the light, but the bulb above fails to illuminate. Instead, from behind her, a second shadow looms, something monstrous pressing closer. A cold hand reaches over her shoulder, resting on her collarbone, dragging her into a paralyzing dread. With every ounce of her strength, she whispers that it isn't real, but her voice falters as a hand clamps over her mouth, pushing her forward into the bedroom. The door slams shut. As morning breaks, sunlight streams through the apartment. James, clean-cut and holding coffee and bagels, enters, calling for Mara. Finding the boxes and the unplugged TV, concern rises in his chest. He knocks on the locked bedroom door, his voice filled with worry. Hearing static from within, he dials her number, but only reaches her voicemail. Frustrated, he decides to break in, only for the door to swing open to reveal Mara, impeccably dressed and smiling. Yet, something is off. Her eyes are too dark, devoid of light. She claims she was sleeping, but her unsettling demeanor raises James's suspicion. As he surveys the room, he notices the closet is wide open. Mara brushes past him into the kitchen, her movements resembling something unnatural. On the floor, partially hidden, lies Mara's phone. Curious, he picks it up and the screen flickers to life, revealing a photo of Mara asleep in bed, taken from inside the closet. His heart drops as he looks up to find her standing there, watching him with her head tilted at an eerie angle. Her voice echoes with a dissonance, layering over itself unnaturally as she invites him to join her. Fear immobilizes him as he backs into the closet door, which slams shut behind him. Darkness engulfs him, the static from the TV roaring back to life, mixing with Mara's voice, now drowned in white noise. It was already here. The static just lets you see it. The static crescendos into a deafening roar before the screen cuts to black. Silence prevails, only broken by the sound of a television powering down, and then a soft click as everything fades away.